So we call that beautiful yellow belly perch or golden perch. So I thought I'd come up with a nice Moroccan spiced golden perch. We're going to serve that on a chickpea avocado salad, a little bit of lime through there as well. I'm going to serve a yogurt and chili dressing with that. So the first thing that we have to do is make the actual marinade for the fish. So what I've got here is some cumin seeds, some turmeric, we've also got some dried chilies. Now, what we need to do when we're making any type of dried marinade, we really do need to release the oils out of that. This is just called dry roasting. I'm just going to dry roast these ingredients. The next thing we're going to put in is our raw ingredients, or fresh ingredients I should say, our garlic. Next thing we need to do now is pound all our ingredients together. As the ingredients start to come together in a paste, I add some coriander root, which holds a lot of flavour. Then Scotty helps me out and adds a little bit of oil. Add a squeeze of lime juice for a bit more zesty flavour. Pop everything into the mixing bowl and add more oil and more lime juice and give it a good stir. Okay, these fish, absolutely beautiful perch, but a little bit too thick. We're going to be cooking them in the pan today. Fantastic if we wanted to do them in the oven. You know, we could just pan sear them, finish them in the oven. Yep. But today I'm going to have to slice these a little bit thinner, so that they cook quickly in the pan. So we'll just cut them on the slant, like so. So I'm just going to pop these in here now, and we're just going to marinate these up. So we're just going to stir these around, and whatever you do, I am being serious, don't get this on your clothes, okay? Because it does stain. And the next thing we've got to do is our salad, step 2. Straight down with an avocado. This is the easiest way to do them. Just twist the avocado. Okay, with a larger knife. Now you've got to be really careful when you do this. So any of the kids at home, please don't do this. Okay, straight in, we twist. Out she comes. Now with avocado seeds, it's fantastic to keep the avocado seed, put it back into the avocado if you're only going to use half the avocado, because there's actually an enzyme in there that keeps the avocados green. I dice the avocado and add it to the mixing bowl. Then I add some cannellini beans, chickpeas, finely chopped red onion, and segments of lime and orange. Then I throw in some chopped coriander and some flat leaf parsley. And to top it all off, drizzle with olive oil, add a pinch of salt and a good amount of cracked black pepper, and toss it all together. Next we're on to stage 3, our yogurt dressing. I finely slice a small section of long red chilli and add some natural unsweetened yogurt. I spoon in some honey we picked up from Mudgee and squeeze in a little bit of lime juice and stir. It's a simple dressing that will go really well with our fish. And now it's time to cook. Okay, I'm just going to get that smoking. So probably 2 to 3 fillets in this pan at the moment. Yeah, fantastic. Jeez, it looks good. Oh, it does look good. Now, what is important as well, as you can see, this is the skin side up. I like to put the presentation side down first for reasons that basically if we cook on the side that we're not going to present and then we put it down the other side, well then it doesn't look too good. Okay, while we're waiting for our fish to cook, we're going to put our salad on our plate ready to rock and roll. As you can see, absolutely lovely. I think we're going to have a really nice dish here, Scott.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
Just tell me, exactly how long should you leave the fish to cook on one side? What am I looking for?
Well, what I like to do is, I like to cook it at the moment. As you can see,
it's starting to whiten up.
Up on the edges, yeah. What I like to do, personally, so that it doesn't dry out the fish, I like to turn it over, get a nice colour on one side, without it being too hot. You don't want to burn the fish. You really don't want to burn the fish. So keep it on a low temperature. Yep. Okay, we'll just check. So we don't want it to be burnt, we want a nice colour on the fish. As you can see, it is a beautiful colour.
Is that looking good?
Yeah, absolutely lovely. Okay, these fillets are a little bit thick, so I'm going to cook for a few minutes on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the pan completely off, because it's come to temperature now. That'll finish off cooking off the fish, and we'll get a beautiful piece of fish. Okay, I'm just going to take the side off this lime, squeeze a little bit of lime juice over the top of that. And if you are concerned whether that fish is cooked enough, don't be scared of having a look in the middle, just having a look there. So we've rested our yellow belly and it's time to plate up. I place a couple of fillets over our salad and spoon some dressing over the top. Then add a little sprig of coriander and a couple of lime wedges. Drizzle with some oil and it's ready to eat. Now this is the first time I've ever tasted yellow belly, and I'm going to let you know what it is. Oh wow, mate, that is absolutely superb. Really, really good, and really goes well with that dressing, you know. It packs heaps of flavour into there. It's really, really good. These are the wood chips that I've got. Quite an oaky smell. Don't need too much, just going to pop that in there. Add a splash of fresh water. It just helps get the smoky flavour into the fish. Then just pop on your lid and light her up. How beautiful that is, absolutely beautiful. Very underrated fish. I mean, it's just as nice as snapper fillets. Absolutely superb. I'm just going to dry these off now, and then we're going to pop them on our smoker. I've got the smoker going over there. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of oil on our salmon and our drummer fillets, so it doesn't stick on the smoker. See, we've got our smoker going. It is looking absolutely awesome. Straight away, I put my fillets down, lengthways across the bar. And what we're doing is actually hot smoking our fish today. This is the drummer. We're actually hot smoking the fish. Now, because it's a fresh fish, a lot of times when you're smoking fish, you'll put it in a brine. But today, I don't need to put it in a brine. It's fresh fish. I want to taste, I just want to lightly smoke it. I don't want to have any sugar or any vinegar sort of flavors on there. The only thing that I'm going to do is halfway through the smoking is I'm going to squeeze some lemon on top, and I'm going to add a little bit of cracked pepper. It's absolutely beautiful. Now generally you would make a mayonnaise with yolks only, but I just don't want to waste the whites today. Scott's getting wet in the background now. I'm going to need his help in a second. Now it's very, very important when we're making mayonnaise is to make sure that we whisk for quite a long time to incorporate air and break the protein down. As you can see, it's lightly fluffing up now. Scott, can you just, oh, he's just landed a fish. That's fantastic. Let's start adding that oil really slowly. Beautiful. I'm just going to, I like plenty of garlic. You like garlic, Scott?
Love garlic.
You love garlic. Put the seeded mustard in there. Just gives it a piquant sort of flavour. Oh, sorry about that. Just going to give it a quick wipe off. I'll tell Scott. Alright, there we go, just mix that in. Add anchovy fillets, a squeeze of lemon, and salt and pepper to taste. Okay guys, I'm just going to check how the fish is going. That is absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to put some lemon juice on there. Incorporates a bit of flavour. I'm not worried about a few pips on there. We're outdoors, you know, we're not in the restaurant today. We're having fun. A little bit of cracked black pepper, and that looks absolutely wonderful. Now to take this off, pop it here, out of the way, I'm going to put the lid on there, and we'll leave that there. It'll carry on cooking. Also, what's good about it, keeps any flies or any insects off it. The secret with when you're making any type of salad is to dress it almost the last minute. Now that's probably just enough for one. Now I've got some bacon here that are pre-cooked. Just put it in the grill on a tray so all the oil would drip through, so it's nice and dry. Okay, that's a little bit of saltiness going in right there. We've got our anchovy fillets from before. Just going to throw a couple in, not too many. I'm just going to put some dressing on here now. Not too much, just enough to cover the lettuce. I'm not going to overdress this salad at the moment. I've got more ingredients to go in this, but I'm not going to put them in until I'm actually putting it into the bowl. I've got some beautiful Parmesan cheese here, some shards of Parmesan cheese there to go in. Just a couple of olives. I'm going to pop this in our bowl. This is our base of our salad that we're going to sit our fish on. And I've got some absolute beautiful little goodies over here as well that I did earlier. So what I have, I've got some semi-dried tomatoes that we're going to put on the salad. We've got some asparagus that I boiled for maybe 1 minute only and then put them straight into ice water. More tomatoes. I'm going to put some eggs, just quarter your eggs, put them around the side like so. It's starting to look really vibrant and colourful. One more asparagus for good luck. I do like my asparagus. Okay, now for the main part of the dish is our smoked fish. Looking absolutely beautiful. The reason why I leave the skin on there is just to protect the actual fish. That's how moist it is. I'm going to break that off. Now people tell me that this isn't a good eating fish. Salmon, smoked, Aussie style. Absolutely beautiful. Pop this in our Caesar salad. I'm going to take a little bit of the black fish. Look how moist that black fish is and white. Look at that, the fillets just peel off. Absolutely beautiful. Now, just to finish the dish off, I put a little bit of my mayonnaise in one of these squeezy bottles. Great, these are. These fantastic. You've got to get these at home. Straight over the top, that's our finish with our dressing. A little bit more cheese on top. And there we have it. Smoked fish Caesar salad, burning palm style. You wouldn't want to do this in Darwin. Anyway, let's get cracking. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, within a dry pan, a bit nice and hot, I'm just going to warm these tortillas through. Just get rid of that big bull ant there. So I'm going to throw them on. Okay, so what you'll see now is you'll see bubbles starting to come up on the bread. So I know it's time to turn it over. And it's just a little bit longer. Only got a little pan. Can't take too much with you when you're on a kayak, but as you can see, these guys are starting to blister around there. That's perfect. That's exactly how I want them. They're looking fantastic now. We'll just take them off. Keep them warm on the side here. So our next step, just some olive oil in the pan. Great olive oil from our friends down at Torino there. And in with our fish. So I prepared the fish a little bit earlier and sort of measured them to be around about the same size as our tortilla bread. So if you have a look at that, it's around about the same size. Okay, so this is our sweet lip that I caught the other day. I'm just going to put a little bit of salt on the skin. That just crisps the skin up. A bit more sea salt. So yeah, just going to cook that nice and slowly on one side, around about 2/3 the way through, and then we're just going to turn it over and let it rest in the pan, and the residual heat in the pan will just finish off cooking the fish. Fish looks like it's ready to turn over, as you can see. I'll just pull it up to you, up to the camera. You can see it's sort of 3/4 of the way gone white through there. The protein started to coagulate. I'm just going to turn that over. It's looking absolutely beautiful. So I'm just resting the fish in the pan at the moment. A little bit of lime pepper seasoning from KRIO Krush. It really is. It just really lifts the dish. It's fantastic. And the only thing I've got to do now is put it all together and eat it. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. So look how beautiful that sweet lip is. Absolutely so moist. Great way to cook it. So a little bit of iceberg lettuce underneath. Okay, and then we've got some red onion going on there as well. Got some jalapenos here that I've cut up. You can get your green jalapenos. They're they're not as hot as the red bird's eye chilies, but they still hold a little bit of spice. I'm going to have some tomato in there as well. Some cherry toms going in. And then a little bit of my avocado. I didn't want to chop it up or it goes too brown, so I've just left it whole. And definitely got to put a little bit of my coriander on here, or as the Americans like to call it, cilantro. Yeah, and then some sour cream. Beautiful. Look at that. And then the last thing that I put on here, and I've just got to go and grab it, it won't be a second, is what I get from Torino. All these ingredients, these dry ingredients and all these different spices that we use here at The Hook and the Cook, all the Asian spices, Italian spices, everything you can think of, you can get online from Torino. They are unbelievable, and you get them at wholesale price, guys. I used them in my restaurant for 10 years, so, you know, they're unbelievable. And this is what we need And beautiful green pepper Tabasco just going on top. This is going to give it a little kick. A few drops of that goes on top. And wow, that's ready for me to eat. I just can't wait. So guys, the only thing I need to do now, squeeze a little bit of lime on here. Oh, so, how good that looks. Wow. So, first bite. It's time for another one, I think. So what I'm going to do is just score the blue-eye cod. Okay, I'm just going to season the fish, both sides. So I've got some beautiful lime pepper. So now it's nicely seasoned. We're just going to get our pan nice and hot. We're going to sear it, both sides, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. So the best way to put the fish in is to actually put the fish away from you so you don't splash yourself. So, like so. And exactly the same with the second piece. What I'm going to do next, guys, is just flip the fish over onto the other side, give it a couple of minutes. I don't want to overcook it, I just want it to be lightly seared because it's going to be finished in the oven. Beautiful. So I'll just give that a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to pop it onto our tray. I've put a little bit of baking paper on there. It just helps stop the fish from sticking when we pop it in the oven. Okay, so it's time to make my sauce. So what I'm going to do is put some oil in the pan. Now I've got some beautiful eschalots here. We're just going to put some eschalots in. I've got some beautiful bird's eye chilies just to give it a little bit of heat. In with our garlic. So now we can add our tomatoes. What I've got here is some heirloom tomatoes. So basically they are seeds from yesteryear that people have found, and they've started to grow these old-fashioned tomatoes. So I'm just going to let that break down now for around about 5 minutes. You don't need to cook it for too long. And then I'm going to add some olives. The tomatoes have broken down beautifully. Time to add my olives. What this will do is just give it a little bit of saltiness to the dish. Okay, so it's time to top the fish. So what we do is get a lovely bit of this beautiful tomato. And it's such a simple dish. You can do this at home, it's so easy. So the only thing I've got to do now is top it with my pistachio and herb crust, which I made earlier. It's just basically pistachios, some sourdough in there, and also a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So don't be shy with the topping, because what this does, it soaks up all the juices from the tomato. It is absolutely sensational. And also gives it an absolutely fantastic crust. So all we've got to do now is pop this in the oven for around about 5 or 6 minutes, and it's going to be absolutely sensational. Okay, so you can see it's got a beautiful crust on here. I'm going to take the fish off. Some olive oil over the top, around the side, and a couple of drops of balsamic reduction for a little bit of colour and garnish. Okay. So there we go, folks. Real simple dish that you can do at home. Doesn't need a lot of preparation, and really, really healthy. Beautiful prosciutto that the boys down there at Torino, George and the boys down in Sydney, have sent me up. They've come on as a sponsor this year. We've got some flathead here, and we're going to just put this across the prosciutto. I'm going to roll this up. It's going to give us a really beautiful flavour when we fry it in the pan. It also protects the flathead. So just very simply, actually I just forgot one secret ingredient, which is my lemon pepper, as you can see there. Beautiful KRIO lemon pepper. Comes in this really handy little sprinkle tin packet that you can get online now, and absolutely amazing with fish. Beautiful. Here comes the wind again. Hopefully you can hear me. There's not much we can do about that when we're cooking outdoors. There we go. We just roll that up nicely. So there we go, guys. Beautiful little flathead wrapped in prosciutto. I'm going to do that with the rest of the flathead. You don't need to see that. You've seen how to do it, and such a simple way to do. You can do this at home, anywhere. Fantastic. Or you can pre-do these before you go out actually camping. Okay, all right, let's crack on and we'll get on with cooking. Here's some of the ingredients that we're going to be using today. So We've got some beautiful zucchini here. Okay, I've just basically used a peeler and just peeled the zucchini into ribbons. Some nice cut up yellow capsicum. We've also got some of these interesting, I went out to the supermarket the other day, sorry, the fruit and veg shop, and I got these. These are like, they call them a berry tomato. I just thought I'd give them a try. Not really seen them before, so I'm going to make a sauce out of that. Also got some olives from Torino, beautiful olives. Oh, sensational. Got some chilies, red onion, some pine nuts just for a little bit of a crunch, and I've got a little bit of feta there, mainly because I love feta. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so let's cook, guys. A little bit of oil in the pan, some beautiful olive oil, and as you can see here, I've just got my fish, and where we've wrapped it, I'm just going to seal that side down first. Now, it shouldn't take too long. So we want that prosciutto to get nice and crispy. So I'm just going to have a quick look, see if they're ready to turn, and they're looking pretty good. Look how beautiful that is. So I'm going to do around about another, say, 3 to 4 minutes on this side. These are just starting to cook through. There's still a little bit raw in the middle, so I'm going to take them off now and let the residual heat in the pan finish off cooking up my flathead. And then what I'm going to do now is a nice warm Mediterranean salad to go with these. So in with a little bit of olive oil, not too much. And so first off, we're going to start off with some onions, straight in, just finely sliced onion. Some capsicum. It's a really quick, easy dish to make. Some basil, just torn, just really rustic, torn basil. Also now I'm going to start to throw in a few of these tomatoes that are going in. This will just make a little sauce for us. Garlic, I like to just put that in around near where the oil is so it infuses. Some pine nuts can go in as well. And our chili, some zucchini now, some ribbons of zucchini. Throwing a couple on the floor there, don't matter, let's get them in there. Now these can be just thrown in at the last minute. These will just wilt down nicely. You want a little bit of crunch anyway of the zucchini, so we just want them to be lightly cooked. And how good is this going to go with our flathead fillet? Put our beautiful flathead on here. It's already nice and hot. Wow, how good does that look? A little bit of feta cheese just thrown in. Now I've got a bit of lemon juice in here in the feta as well, a little bit of mint. I marinated up this feta last night, knowing that we'd hopefully catch something, and I thought if we don't catch anything then I'll just have to cook up these beautiful ingredients. So we'll get that over the top of the fish. So the last thing I'm going to do is just throw a tomato in there just for a little bit of a garnish, and that's lunch. Thank you very much for helping me film today. Cook your lunch. There we go. Looks okay? Yep. Well guys, we'll look forward to seeing you every week here at The Hook and the Cook. We'll see you next Friday. Cheers guys.
We'd like to give a big thank you to all our sponsors for 2019.